So I already talked about the original John Carpenter Halloween. We got the first and the best out of the way, okay? None of them are going to be as good, so let's just go with it anyway. Let's talk about Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is directed by Rick Rosenthal and stars Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance, and is the continuation of The Night He Came Home. Laurie has been taken to the hospital, and Michael Myers follows her there and is killing people in a hospital, and then Loomis, Donald Pleasance, is kind of just lurking around in town still, like, where is this fucking guy? I'll just say right now, this movie's nowhere near as good as the first one, okay? None of these movies in this whole series are going to live up to the first one. That is a given. That's a fact. The question is, can this one be decent at all? Because it's like Psycho. That movie's amazing. It's a classic. I love it to death. But Psycho 2, I thought, while not being nearly as good, still, I appreciate and like it in its own way. This one, not so much. And it's weird too, because John Carpenter, he went off and made Escape from New York, but he still came back to do little bits of this movie. He did the music again. He wrote it, so he was still involved. It's kind of disheartening to know he wrote it. Maybe I'll believe in my head that he like wrote it in a half hour and said, there, go make it, since I'm not going to do it anyway. I want to go do better movies. I want to move on. Halloween was a one-off, and now you're ruining it, you corporate fucks. Here's your fucking script. I'd like to believe that's what he did. I don't know. It's severely lacking. If he was directing it, I feel like this movie would be infinitely better. I still don't think it would be good considering the script we have and what happens in this movie, but it would have been a lot better than what we got. And it's weird too, because Rick Rosenthal he's trying to emulate and keep some of the great stuff Carpenter did as far as camera work and stuff like that. POV shots, long takes, creepy parts where you see Michael looming in the background and stuff. There's little inspired bits here and there where it's like, that's a lot of what I loved from the first one. There's stuff here that reminds me of what I liked in the first, so that's nice. If only they did that most of the movie. It's like 10% of the movie was, okay, let's remind people of some good stuff, do stuff like Carpenter did, and then the rest is schlocky, horror, crap trash. It's basically, okay, remember how Halloween was great, it's all about suspense and build-up and not about killing people in unique ways? Let's go the other way. Let's just, alright, he's got a scalpel, he'll have hypodermic needles, he'll drain someone of blood, someone will get hit by a fucking car and explode into a roasted marshmallow of a human being. He even roasts a lady's head in like a hot tub thing. He puts her head in, and then over the course of 3 dunks, her face, like, it melts off, and then she dies. Like, it's all about murdering people in neat ways. A hammer to the head. There's no art to this one. This one, they wanted to emulate, but then quickly just moved on to let's kill people in neat ways. Who cares? And God, everything about this movie's lesser. Everything. The music's not nearly as good. Now, the theme itself, they kind of synthed it up a little bit, changed it, and I appreciate it. Like, I bought it. I'm like, that's a cool alteration of the theme. But the rest of the music, not very memorable. The acting, whoo! Like Jamie Lee Curtis in this, it's not necessarily her fault either. She spends 90% of the movie in a bed just kind of like, and that's kind of a lot of what she does. And then in like the last 10 minutes, it's her and Michael, and she's getting chased and stuff. It's like she doesn't have anything to do in the movie until the last 10 minutes. What the fuck? And Donald Pleasance, he's just, he's over the top and hammy in this one. Like, he takes what he was doing in the first. I shot him 6 times. He's evil, and he's just doing that. He turns it up to 11. It's like, who gives a shit? He is evil! I shot him 6 times! Shot him 6 times! He was doing the same stuff, just a lot worse. And speaking of that, the mask in this, Michael Myers, whew, he kind of sucks too, because if you look at the mask, it just looks like shit. The original classic mask, I don't know why they couldn't redo that. They couldn't buy another one and paint it, or they didn't have the original one, or duplicates or something in a safe stash somewhere. Like, they recreated it horribly. It looks like ass. This mask looks terrible, out of proportionate. It looks like the fucking one I have. It looks like this piece of shit. It looks like this piece of crap if they like rubbed a bunch of dirt on it and then like mushed it up a little bit and put it on his face. It looks that bad. I'm actually very upset at Michael Myers in this. His mask looks like ass. And there is a creepy part where like a kid comes in the hospital and he had like a razor blade in his teeth because of a fucking razor blades and apples. It's like, that's fucked up. That's actually terrifying. I don't want to eat an apple ever. That's scary. That's more effective at scaring me and terrifying me than any other part of the movie. It's so sad. This movie's just very generic. It's not so horribly done that it's like the worst thing ever. It's just generically bland and forgettable. It's the same slasher thing you've seen a billion times no matter what horror movie you watch. random people that don't matter, you don't care about them, getting picked off in different ways so it's supposed to excite you. It's just generic and forgettable. All these nurses and doctors and stuff, I don't give a shit about any of them, so they're all dying, whatever. He sticks a fucking needle in someone's head. Okay, why do I care? I care about Laurie Strode and she's in a bed, not involved in anything, so there's no tension there really till like the very end. This movie could have been a lot worse. It could have been horrible. Like, all the acting is forgettable. All the characters are forgettable. I just don't care about this movie. It's just very middle of the road, generic, forgettable, bland ass. This movie was such nothingness that I'm not even super upset. It was just like, whatever. So I would give Halloween 2 a C-. I would hate it more if I cared more. It was just very mediocre and bland. So yeah, it could have been worse. It could have been a really fucking just, what the fuck are they doing? And we'll get to those type of movies. Trust me, further down the line, we're gonna get to like the worst of the worst. Next though, we'll talk about Halloween 3, which I'm very interested to return to. I've already reviewed it twice. And this time I'm gonna go in with an open mind and really see what's gonna happen there, because yeah, it's a different one. It's a weird one. It's something. But comment below, tell me your thoughts on Halloween 2, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.